All-Pro JAFFos, ball out Pro Bowl, Tony Romo, 40-yard dash, boy, don't be slow, mo. Get on the court, boy, I'm in go. Outside in the sun like Elliot Kobo. I'm running fast, LA de la Cruz. Turn on the JAFFos, get my news. A7FL doing good, how I knew. All-Pro JAFFos, the All-Pro, jumps off sports, they speak facts. You talk smack, you get sacked. Come tune in, sit in chat. Sport you like, they speak all that.
Hey, yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the All-Pro JAFFOs, bringing you the highly elevated sports talk for the highly elevated sports fan. I'm your host, JP. Alongside me, as always, the prodigy, EJ Wizzle, and joining us in a little bit will be the great one, DJ Mad Six. But until we get all of that, ladies and gentlemen, just start off the show. It wouldn't be a show without some sort of guest on it, especially what's been going on this season. Ladies and gentlemen, to some, he is a living legend in the A7FL. They call him the 3-on-1 God, and a lot of others are calling him, hey, first ballot A7FL Hall of Famer once he is all said and done with. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Hollywood, Mr. Ashante Worthy. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Had a hell of a game this past weekend. I talked to you a little bit last week, was trying to get you on the show then, but you said, no, let's wait till next week after the game, so be able to talk the most shit at that point. And, I even told you I was going, I hope so, because the way the Animals have been playing, it was just kind of one of those things that, I was looking at it going, it could have gone either way, but obviously the confidence level from yourself and the rest of the team showed this past Sunday, even though it was a hell of a game. 53-51 was the final. BIC back out on top and number one in the power rankings. Doing what you do on the 3-on-1, the smart play at the end, taking that slide at the 2 to just end the game there and get and just move on, get the win. I've seen it, but for those who haven't seen it, how are you and the BIC feeling after this last Sunday?
Shit, we not impressed with nothing. We still got a lot to work on. So we're gonna take these 2 weeks, watch film, get in meetings, and we're gonna get right for the next game.
And you guys got, you got this week off because of Easter. You got next week off as a bye week, and then to end the season, you guys got the Watchmen for you guys. But I mean, there was obviously a lot of that friendly shit talking banter back and forth. It's all football. I love, obviously, but everything that was going on, I've definitely noticed that the BIC has a very different, almost like a scary calm demeanor to it. Like you guys are willing to get on the lives and hear everybody else, but every time I've seen you on the live, it's your live, but everybody else is talking. You're just sitting there listening. It's one of those. It's kind of like, all right, we got a bunch of silent assassins over there in Trenton that are just. It's all about what y'all do on the field.
Yeah, some people on our team gonna talk. Some people go they gonna play on the field. So I'm gonna do a little bit of both.
And so I had to bring it up and everything because obviously the game was obviously incredible up to the 11-minute mark in the fourth quarter. From what was being said, what I was hearing, what we saw on the field, the scuffle wasn't as bad as I think it was portrayed to be.
Oh yeah, nah, not at all.
It got
It was just
diffused fairly quickly.
yeah, it was just a lot of pushing and shoving. Nobody threw no punches. It just looked crazy because like one of my teammates was just over there by himself, and it was just a lot of red jerseys. But ain't nothing too crazy went on over there.
Yeah, I was looking at that too, going like, well, I see why the BIC. Well, one, I know why the animals got upset, but then two, I know why the BIC went over there because you're not about to just let your teammate get surrounded by the entire sideline of the opposite team. And then and you could see it on live TV. It was within about 10 seconds, it was over and done with. It was more of just like, what the hell are you doing? My bad. Moved on. And
Yeah,
then 30 minutes of waiting, of not knowing what the hell is going on happened because the refs, took off. Or at least hopped off the field for a little bit. But at the end of the day, play resumed, and I know it's difficult, um, especially after that kind of a delay, to keep yourself warm, keep yourself, preventing yourself from getting cold. So I know there was a lot of talking about what the hell is going to happen next. We had the renter refs come in for a couple of plays just for when the real refs came back. It started back from where it was before. What were you guys doing basically to keep the mindset right? Because obviously you guys knew that play was going to keep going. So like, what was that whole mindset? What were you guys doing to stay warm for inevitably coming back to play?
I think honestly, bro, I think I was like walking in circles, bro, to try to stay warm because it was like that. It was getting cold, the sun was going down, and they was taking forever to come back. So yeah, I was just trying to stay warm, honestly. Like I was still locked in because I knew we had to finish the game. There was no way we couldn't finish the game, and that was what was it? What was the number one, number two seed on the East Coast? But I think we was like the number three seed, and they was like the number one seed at the time.
Our rankings, yep.
So like I knew they couldn't just let that game finish right there and then. So yeah, I was just walking in circles trying to stay warm. 'Cause I was definitely getting like a little, it was getting a little tight, getting a little sore. So yeah, just trying to
Didn't
stay
look
warm.
like it when you called ball game on the 3-on-1.
Yeah,
But
I started to get dressed after that, and then they went down there and scored again. So I had to get redressed.
did
I
you
didn't know.
already have it in your mind, especially on the last part, the last 3-on-1? Because I mean, Ryan Shamar was, calling it like a whole scenario of what could happen. Um, was it already in your mind that even if they let you score, if you got down, that you weren't going to score, that you were going down probably at the two?
I was supposed to go down on the first one, but like when I look back, it looked like everybody was telling me to score, but they were trying to tell me to go down. So, but on the next one, yeah, I knew I was going down the whole time.
That's the IQ there, not wanting to give the team the other chance. Because again, Ryan Shamar was talking about, well, if he takes this one back and scores, that's 44 seconds for the animals to be able to take it back down to the field and tie the game. Um, so big IQ moment for sure. But I wanted to ask you. I mean, you've been in this league, for some time now. What made you even want to get into this league?
Uh, my boy, he actually put me onto it. They was having like the fraud ball, and he asked me if I wanted to come out there and play, and I was just messing with it from there on. It was really fun to me. So like that's really what it was.
Was there was no, I mean, because I know some people, when they first saw it before they got into it, there's the thought process of, holy shit, no pads, or no pads, full on tackle. Was there any sort of like reluctancy going, I don't know, like, or was it just, oh, this looks good, I'm gonna hop in right now?
Yeah, because like when I first played, like my very first game ever, I was just like I did good. So I was just like I thought it was easy, honestly. So
7-on-7 with no pads. Apparently, for some people, it's easy. Um, but was there any adjustment? I know you did 11 on full pads and everything, but was there any sort of adjustment that was needed to really get kind of acclimated with the game?
no, not really. It's basically the same to me, just less people on the field.
And then it's almost when it comes to the 3-on-1, it almost seems that that might be your favorite play because it seems like you can turn it on almost whenever you want. And I know Mizzle said he touched up on it a little bit during the recap show, but yeah, we were a little pissed off that you didn't get one of them trying to claim an ankle instead of running by him. Yeah, that was one 3-on-1. We were like, there's no way in hell that you would have hawked him down. You had the angle and everything. So is that what the thought process was? Oh, I need to claim a soul here before I get into the end zone.
Yeah, I tend to play around a little bit. And my Sterry, my quarterback, he always get mad. So I just had to stop playing and
Stop
then
playing with the
lock
boo.
in for real.
I mean, the first that tightrope one on the sideline was impressive, but yeah, that one that you had going the other way, we were looking at it going, yeah, no, he was playing on that one. He definitely could have broke out and had three. I don't know what the record is for 3-on-1s in a game, but you probably could have had it the way things were going. Um, so this team, everyone that I talked to, from coaching staff, players, talked to Kenny Stansberry, talked to Trey Robinson. Um, there's a feeling within the team of you've already kind of said it, not really satisfied, not really impressed with everything that's going on, but the focus seems to be getting the revenge on the Insomniacs.
I
And
mean, I wouldn't really say that's the focus for real. We're just trying to take it one game at a time. Cause like we know like when we got there and we lost, so like we know how that felt. So like no matter who it was, we could have lost to the U, we could have lost to anybody in the chip. Is we just taking it one game at a time, no matter who the team is or whoever it is or whoever we're gonna see, no matter what it is. It's still our mindset's still gonna be the same. Just gonna take it one game at a time.
even the championship game, like that, there's like that's a lot of calm, for a championship game. That's a dangerous team to deal with, especially. I mean, you guys have been there. You guys act like you've been there. Um, but this year's probably going to be a little bit different when it comes to championship time. All things are looking like it's going to be in Bullhead this year. And one of those questions that I've asked, especially for a lot of the East Coast, because I think the West proved it last year, especially travel wise, that they travel well. The Insomniacs did. They went to New Jersey with full on squad. So the one thing that I've seen from the East is kind of the lack of being able to have a full squad roll up to a game outside of Asbury Park. And it's not just going to Indianapolis, it's not going to Florida, it's not going to PA, right? We're going all the way to Arizona. So if you guys already had conversations and talks about um, plans and what you guys need to do to be able to show up to Bullhead with a full squad.
Oh yeah. We got all the dates. So everybody just got locked in. We gotta get there first. So
And is it going to be I'm hearing this kind of for the first time, and it's mostly because I've been hearing it from the players. Are the final four going to be in Bullhead?
uh honestly, bro, I don't even know. It changed every other day. But I did recently hear that like the Final Four was gonna be like over there somewhere.
Interesting. So it would be you'd have obviously the conference championship games. There's no way it's a back to back, right?
It'll be the top two teams from over there, and then the top two teams from over here in the Final Four, and then I don't know where the chip gonna be at. Like I said, it be changing like every other day.
I mean, like I said, I've heard the championship being in Bullhead. The Final Four, I didn't know how the Final Four was going to work out that way. Whether it would have been, you guys play one day and then the very next day is the championship, which I don't
Oh yeah,
necessarily see that
nah, I don't, yeah,
happening.
I don't know nothing about that. I
Yeah,
don't, I,
because
I don't think
I
it'll
think
be
the
like.
only way it would kind of have to be that way because again, when you're talking about like the finances and travel and everything like that, there's no way y'all would be able to show up full squad one weekend, have to go back home, and then the very next week have to do it again. That
You
that
know,
goes
I
for
think
probably any team. Like that's extremely difficult to do.
knowing A7, bro, they'll probably have that shit, like two different weekends. It'll be one weekend, they'll probably take a break, do it another weekend. But I don't know. Honestly, I don't be knowing none of that.
What
I
they
just
gonna have y'all come back out there, bro? They gonna pay for everything? Cause boy, how do I tell you, that's a whole lot of traveling.
I really don't
Going back
know.
and
If
forth.
I knew, I'd be telling y'all, but like I really don't know.
So that
I mean, shoot.
for yourself at least, um, how much longer are you thinking to continue being in the league, continuing to keep grinding it out, gaining more championships, whatever it may be. Yeah, everybody's got a shelf life, but some people just don't. Some people are there for forever. But like for yourself, like what's the timeline? Go until the wheels fall off?
At this, I guess, bro. Like I don't even really be thinking about that, honestly. Cause like I'm only like 26, so
Oh shit, yeah, you got plenty of time.
yeah, I don't really be thinking about that right now. But
I didn't even realize you were 26, bro. Yeah. No, you got plenty of time. We can throw that one out the window. That's plenty of time to be able to do even more damage uh, in the league. But for yourself, a lot of the players, talk about you, look up to you. You're one of those types of guys that you kind of sets an example um, in the league. And as far as the league is kind of come, uh, how much further do you think it can go? Like, or what's holding it back from getting to that next level of the national record? I mean, it's one thing, yeah, because I think the A7 is way more entertaining than to be known for a couple of viral clips a year, and that's about it. And I go back to it. Nobody's going to convince me that cornhole is more fucking exciting than the A7 being put on ESPN. So I like in from what you've seen and how you kind of been with this league to grow. What are some things you think might be holding it back from getting to that next level?
honestly, bro, I guess like all the people behind the scenes, bro. Cause like I said, like we got the schedule changing every other day. Teams be backing out. Like I just feel like they gotta fix a couple things and then like they can get right. They don't gotta fix a lot, just a little bit. Like
It's definitely at a point. I mean, we've been talking to everybody trying to figure out whether it's the financials, the behind the scenes, and it's one of those things that I mean, we've been on here saying it like kind of everybody's got to be able to hold everyone accountable. From the players all the way. The players have been doing a pretty good job holding each other accountable.
yeah, but like also too, like we gotta stop fighting, arguing. Cause like this it do be on TV, so like
that's one of the things, the brawls and everything, that's happened. I mean, if you're a big money person, you're trying to put in, investment into the league, and you see that, consistently, not every week, but like it consistently at least once or twice every year,
Mm-hmm.
something like that happens. It's kind of one of those, I don't know if I want to, put money into it. So it's like, how do you, because again, when we saw like the pushing and shoving happening this last week, there was nothing in my mind that would make me believe that BIC, at least as a team, animals as well, but BIC, at least as a team, is one of those teams to do some shit. Like, you guys are more calm and collected. If things are getting a little bit heavy, we saw, Stary kind of, getting case on to back off on certain things. And it just, you guys seem a little bit more uh, collected when it comes to stuff like that. But if you had to basically let everybody else in the league know, like, what are some things that can be done in order to prevent that type of shit? I know
I
it's
mean,
not difficult, but what are some things that can be done?
you just gotta learn by example. Like I'm not saying like we be learning by example, but like we seen, well, everybody's seen what happened with the Watchmen and what was it, Ohio, right? Whatever.
The
Like,
chaos last year. Yeah.
we ain't trying to like them. We don't want nobody suspended for a whole season, then fighting to come back or fighting to get their suspension lifted or whatever. So we just try to like learn from that and all the other situations that happened in the league where people get suspended, they gotta pay a fine or they gotta pay to get the suspended lifted, all kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I've always attributed it down to soft egos, taking shit a little bit too personal, at times. Being able to play this game, football in general, not just, the A7, but, everywhere in general, being able to play the game without letting that personal shit get into it, being able to be highly competitive. Yeah, you can have, that shit talk, that banter and stuff like that back and forth, but as long as you keep it football, there should be no problems.
Right.
But at times you have players that let it get out of hand or take something a little bit too personally, and what usually ends up being a little bit of chippiness turns into an all-out 20-minute fucking brawl.
Mhm.
So do you guys, I mean, we've seen examples of it, but have there been times where you guys have been able to, kind of calm each other down, or, the leader stepping up going like, hey, it ain't that serious. Like,
Yeah, we gotta do that all the time. Actually, if I'm being honest with you, we got a couple hot heads on the team.
but the leadership has been able to keep the hotheads a little bit cool.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Haven't let it get to that point. You're gonna have hotheads on the team, but it's just a matter of who you have on the team to be able to kind of diffuse that shit. And then you guys, team wise, historically for this league, are one of the pillars of the league. So you guys got to be able to set that example of, hey, cooler heads are going to prevail on this. Yeah, we're going to get a little bit chippy. Things are going to get a little bit hot at times, but need to be able to cool it. And do you guys, is that something that gets talked about, like behind the scene, like when you guys are just talking to each other, going through film or whatever it is that you guys are, being able to like get on each other, be like, hey, you can't be doing that shit?
Yeah, yeah. Stereo do that all the time. Honestly, That's just what he do.
I mean,
Bro, and
maybe.
then bro just be trying to get through the game. Like we don't want the game to be slowing down. We be out there forever. So
And then you being a former quarterback, there are certain things, leadership wise, that obviously you bring to the table. But when you guys are watching film, you guys are when it comes to the IQ of the team, um, how do you guys basically dissect what you're seeing?
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. They don't even really be having everybody in the film session for real, for real. Just like the main, like the main guys,
So it's just like
the ones
a
that you
few
see,
of you are watching and then relay it to the team type of thing.
the ones that you see playing on the field, those be the people in the film sessions. The ones that know what's going on, the ones that's going to listen to steering and stuff like that. Cause that's all we really do. Like he'll watch it and then he'll tell us what he need us to do. We just go from there.
Um, it's at the league seems to be kind of at a bit of a crossroads right now because there are certain things that need to be done. Obviously, we just talked about it a little bit earlier, step ups to be, nationally televised and everything like that. How far out realistically do you think until we start getting the interconference play during the regular season?
Far, but not that far, if that makes sense.
Talking about what, like maybe 4 or 5 years?
Maybe even 3.
3?
Yeah,
That's better.
I don't even. I don't think it's that far, but still got a little ways to go.
Yeah. And do you think, I mean, Kenny Stansberry, brought it up thinking that possibly condensing divisions and stuff like that down to only a certain amount of teams would make that a little bit easier. Um, and then some kind of go oppose it, going it's not really the fact that there's too many players or anything like that. It's more of like again the financial aspect of Derek Duncan broke it down, saying per trip per week doing something like that, you're looking at about $20,000, per team to be able to transfer or to go to the East or go to the West or whatever it may be. Um, so at that point, it's just kind of like, yeah, maybe it might need. It's definitely going to need some more like national sponsorship. Um, and then even with that, there's still talk of growth in the league, meaning more divisions going into certain spots. We've been advocating for Northern California to get a division. There's been talks of Texas possibly getting a division. The return of Florida. Like, are there any particular areas in the country that you would actually like to see get a division and kind of go, "Ooh, I'd like to play against those guys"?
Texas for sure. Uh, Georgia.
Ooh, Georgia would be nice.
Um, I feel like that's the main two for real, for real.
I A little birdie told me that you guys added some players. You don't have to disclose it or anything here, but uh, from what I heard, 2 out of the 3 major night crawlers are now BIC members. Is there any truth to that?
Yeah.
Can you say which ones? I haven't found out yet, but can you at least say which ones? I think I know who it is, but I just need a little bit of confirmation just in case.
I could tell you one. I can't tell you the other one.
One is fine. If one is what I think it is, I could probably guess the second one.
Who do you think it is?
The first one?
Yeah.
it's either Davis or Bagway, one of the two. If we're talking just one of them, and if one of them's there,
Yeah,
possibly the second one is there.
you got one. You got one of those people, right? Yeah, you got one right.
Okay. But you're not going to say who, huh?
Who do you think though? If you had to guess,
If I had to guess, especially given like what you guys, the structure of the team, first one at the top of my list is Logo Davis.
nah, that ain't it.
It ain't Logo? Okay, then it's Bagway.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So how the fuck? Okay, first of all,
Bagway
how?
he don't just play quarterback. He
No,
could
I
play.
know that. I completely understand that. But I'm trying to figure out, just, are they making the trip from Florida every weekend, or like are they now New Jersey? That's where they stay. Like what?
As far as that, I don't know when you'll see Bagway as far as that. Maybe in the playoffs, probably.
But there's probably not a chance we'll see him with y'all against the Watchmen on May 4th.
No, I ain't hearing nothing about that yet. But if I do, I'll let you know. I got you.
God damn, Mark Bagway is now on the BIC. And you're saying no to Logo, but a part of me still thinks like he's part of it as well. But even if
secret
it may
weapon,
not be
they ain't
him,
letting that out the bag.
no, I know, I'm
Yeah,
poking the prying a little bit, but
it's like
it's big. Like for people who don't understand this and haven't been necessarily watching the
I think
A7.
I think if you go look on the roster, I think you could like see. Nah, I'm not too sure because
On the
I heard
website
people.
right now. Let me check the roster just in case if it's been updated. And
I was
even if I
watching.
see it, I won't say it.
I was
I'll
watching the
let
live,
y'all
and I
be able
got.
to give out that information. But I don't know if they've updated it, at least on the website. Oh no, fuck, they have. Okay. Bagway right there. Yep. Okay. Yeah. No, I see it. Yep. I'll I'll let, I'll let y'all go ahead and disclose it. Holy fuck. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. All right. The playoffs are going to be very, very interesting. To say the least. Holy shit. But I mean, Ashante, again, real quick before you head out, once again, appreciate you for hanging out on the show for us. Like we tell everybody else, doors always open. Never want to get on here and talk some more ball or really anything at any point other outside of the season, mid-season, whatever it may be. Doors always open. But as for right now, what are y'all going to be doing these next 2 weeks to stay prepared for when you guys go up against the Watchmen? Because the Watchmen, they got a bit of a wake-up call against the Animals, and they've been looking pretty good since. So how are y'all going to be looking going into? I mean, I feel like I know the answer to this, but I have to ask it anyway. So what are you guys doing to prepare or keep you guys, fresh 2 weeks
Yeah,
off?
yeah. I ain't gonna lie. I'm still a little banged up. From the animal game, so I'm just trying to get right. We're gonna watch a lot of film. Well, yeah, we're gonna watch a lot of film. We we do have offensive meetings here or there, so we're gonna jump in probably like a couple of those. And yeah, we just gonna get right. We gonna watch film, see what we could do better, and we just gonna come out there and play football.
Sounds good, sir. And then once again, appreciate you. Keep doing your thing. We will see you again up against the Watchmen, and we'll see if we get another 3-on-1 play of the week out of you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen of the Jaffa Army. Living legend on the BIC. They call him the 3-on-1 guy for a reason. Go ahead and check it out. He's got a lot of viral clips. He's got a lot of stuff, out there to show you who he is. He's former MVP, and he's gonna, hopefully be in this league for a whole hell of a lot longer. Because 26 years old, fuck, that's a lot to be able to burn down before you end up leaving. So, Ashante, appreciate you, sir, and we will have you again on soon.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know who it is. It's dangerous.
And I'm looking, I'm like, I don't know who they hold. I only know certain players, so I'm not sure who all.
Bagway being one of them. That in it, if they just
Yeah, that
got
in itself,
Bagway,
yeah.
we saw him at the championship.
Yeah. Now I remember, yeah.
We know exactly what he's capable of. So
Yep.
just him is already like, Jesus Christ. That's just another weapon that's going to make that team even better.
Does that
But
mean
the
they
second
sweep the
player,
East then?
say what?
So does that mean they sweep the East then?
I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be some good matchups on.
That's gonna make the next time that they face the animal, and this is all pure, what we've seen, speculate, because again, 53-51, that's a close game. That's a real close game. And DT was hurt, from after the first quarter, but still came in and played. They're, banged up. Both teams, banged up at this point. Ashante Worthy just right now saying, like, even after that game, he's still banged up, after everything. So these 2 weeks, at least for the BIC, is going to be a really good recovery moment, for them. But adding those two guys, it makes the BIC. I mean, they were already a great team, but it just made them even deadlier. Even deadlier. Again, Bagway all in himself is a huge news, but adding who I just saw, and again, if they're going to disclose it, we got people in the comments over here already saying who it is, but again, I'll let them disclose it when they do, or you can go see it on the roster or everything right now, because I think the final final rosters were due this Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. So even though, like I said, Bagway may not be playing with them, against the Watchmen, he's definitely going to be there with them in the playoffs. And then that makes me start to think, going, holy shit, the two teams that played these last 2 years against the Insomniacs in the playoff or in the championship are essentially now all on the same team to try and get back at them again this year. And that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough, especially for the Insomniacs. And the Insomniacs know they've given all the praise in the world to both the BIC and the Nightcrawlers and Bagway. Davis and everybody else that was there. So they know exactly, what's coming up. So that's going to be, and I don't put it past the Insomniacs to be able to prepare correctly. I mean, they're still going to have the same confidence that a two-time defending champion should have. But that just upped the ante. that made things a little bit more heated. Now, as for going up and sweeping the East, I don't want to say that's 100% guaranteed, but it just upped their chances. It made it very, much more likely that they could. But I mean, we'll see, because playoffs are coming around soon. They got this week off, then they come back next week, and that's, at that point, it's 2 more weeks of A7 football before playoff time. So, and we'll see what happens. I mean, because again, it's back and forth. I'm still not even sure where the championship is going to be. Because I don't know how realistically that would be if you had the Final Four, like both conference championship games and the championship game there in Bullhead. I don't know how realistic that would be. Because again, you'd have to go back, and then the very next week have to come back again.
What do they usually do? How do they usually do it?
I mean, up until the last 2 years, it was all in Asbury. It was all in New Jersey. Asbury Park has held all the championships up until, like I said, the 2 years ago when they
I'm
when
talking
they
about like
played.
the Final Four, like when they do the Final Four. Is that
Oh,
usually
Final
like
Four.
in
The
their
Final
respective
Four.
areas?
Well, I mean, last year and the year before that, the Final Fours, the divisions, battled it out at their own spots. So the Eastern Conference played at Asbury, Western played there in Vegas, and the first time they ever played outside of New Jersey was 2 years ago when the Insomniacs played the Nightcrawlers. And then after that, they went back to New Jersey last year. So the ideal was to basically kind of flip-flop, go back and forth every other year. Will Franklin said the Final Four is going to be either in Vegas, New York, or Asbury. I mean, that's still no finality, really, to what exactly is going to be
Man,
done.
like, are y'all gonna cover they checks for the week? You feel me? When they out of work? Like,
If they got to be out that long, and because again, if they're going to have the championship and the conference championships in the same spot, whether it be in Asbury or in Bullhead, the only way that would kind of make sense is if they had it like back to back. If they had the conference championship games on Friday,
and then do a
and then
Sunday.
championship game comes Sunday.
Yeah, give them a day to rest.
A day to rest,
it's not
and then
basketball. That's not enough time.
it's
If
not,
it was
especially recovery
basketball,
on the
then
body.
yeah.
It's definitely not enough time. But when you're considering like the financials and everything that go into it, that's the only way it would work.
Makes sense too.
Unless, again, the league is footing up the bill to do that.
I mean, they gotta be if they talk about doing it like that, they gotta be they gotta be
You
covering their
would think
checks for a
so.
week.
You would think so, but in reality, the teams are paying their own way. BIC's got to pay their own way. The league is not paying for the BIC to travel nowhere. The Insomniacs, I mean, they got Derek Duncan, and they be able to help them get out there. And again, they proved last season that they travel well. And really, it doesn't matter what team it was, whether it was the Insomniacs, the Cichlid,
Wait. So Derek is helping out getting the
the
West Coast
West.
team out there, but the BIC have to pretty much pay everything themselves.
Different division owners, different way of doing things. Different way of the finances, going where they go. Derek Duncan, again, I give him all the praise in the world because, again, like, not just a good human being, but that dude will will do everything that he possibly can to make sure that the Vegas division thrives. And if that means and I'm not saying he's footing the whole bill. I'm sure, he's getting some help, whether it be the coaches and players, paying at least somewhat their own way. But knowing Derek Duncan for who he is, it doesn't matter whether it's the Insomniacs, the Sick with It, the Stealth, the Gold, the Hunters. It doesn't matter who it is. If somebody has to travel to the East Coast to play a game, he's going to make sure that full squad is there. One way
you see how they travel, even when not the A7FL, but when the what's the name come out when we went to the arena game. I mean, they came full squad when we went to go see. Yeah, Vegas just travel. They travel well.
They've got good things behind them. And speaking of them, hold on. It's kind of a quick. Give me 1 second. Let me get it to him because he just messaged me right now. I messaged him earlier, and we'll see if he can get in. Speaking of Derek Duncan, hopefully we get a quick surprise visit from Mr. Suge Light himself, Mr. Derek Duncan. But yeah, so when it comes to the East Coast, I'm pretty sure like the players there, they got to do it themselves. Like it's they got to pay out of pocket. That's why, like when I've talked to each and every one of them, whether it's on the BIC, whether it's on the Animals, whether it's on any other team that we've talked to, it's been a team collective thing that, hey, we all need to get together and make sure that all of us are there. We all need to make sure that we're traveling right. We all need to make sure, and if that means asking for the days off from work, even though the whole we don't know if we're gonna make it, but we're gonna act like we are. Take those days off. If we don't make it, then let work know, hey, we didn't make it. I can come into work that day, or even take the full weekend off regardless. But I for the East Coast, that's where at least travel wise the problems have lied.
Yeah,
is being able to come up with the finances to make sure that the entire team gets there. Full squad, full strength, being able to put out, good product, everything else like that.
yeah.
But like I said, we've already seen it from the Insomniacs and the Vegas division that it could be on the other coast. It could be really anywhere. But Derek's going to make sure that they get there. He's going to make sure that, everybody gets there. Some guys will probably be able to pay on their own, but he's going to be able to help the guys that can't. Coaches, all that other kind of. So that's where the difference in that, whole thing kind of lies. And that's one of the things that for me is the biggest X factor going into the championship. Now, if it's in New Jersey again this year, that X factor kind of goes out the window because, again, we know how well the Insomniacs travel. Again, these guys have played across the country in flag tournaments and all sorts of stuff like that together. So for them to be able to travel to a certain spot is not necessarily out of the ordinary for them. But if it's in Arizona, that's going to be the biggest X factor going into, all right, is the East going to come in fully squatted up? Are they going to have everybody that's important, that should be there, the whole team? Are they going to be able to run 30 guys deep? Coming all the way to Arizona. That's the question.
But if y'all need a player, I'm suited up and ready to go. So if you need somebody else, just throw me on the line. I got y'all.
And then after that, do the halftime show, and then go back and play the whole second half.
Just give me some oxygen on the side.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Jaffo Army, You know him. You love him. We all have the respect in the world until he gets his stuff together. Oh, not a video, but the audio will definitely be there. Suge Light himself, Mr. Derek Duncan. How are you, sir? He's there. He's still getting it ready.
I think you're not there yet. Yeah.
He's still getting ready, but he's on that again. He wouldn't have jumped in if he wasn't complete. So whether we hear just the audio or actually get to see him himself, he will be there. But let me pop him off quick, and then when I see him come back up, I will get him there. But I mean, yeah, man, the BIC, they added some monsters. They added some fucking monsters to that team. Mad Six, I don't know if that changes your mind at all of who you think's gonna win, the entire thing, or if you're more of a, what you say, you stick to it regardless of what happens throughout the season.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sticking to what I said. I mean, just because you added somebody, are they gonna mesh well right away? You got like a couple weeks to try to mesh, so that chemistry might not be there yet. Not saying it ain't. I mean, they all play. They all play, but when you add people that late in the season, there's a chemistry there. So without, I mean, we don't know how much time they get into practice together, or we don't know none of that. So we just finding this out. So we really don't know. So we just going off, finding out tonight. We don't know what the chemistry is. So ain't nobody gonna know till they see him play.
That's true.
So
Derek, we can't see you, but maybe we can hear you. Nope, can't see or hear him. Nope. So he'll get back in. Who knows? So
yeah, we don't know. It's gonna be exciting. It's definitely gonna be some. It's gonna be about to get into some good football here.
I really kind of am hoping it'll be. Well, let's see if this works now. Can we hear him?
Nope.
See him? No, we can't see him. Can't hear him. We know he's there. Can't hear you, Derek. Can't see you either.
He must be borrowing Dub's equipment, huh? What up, Dub? If you watching.
that McDonald's Wi-Fi. Okay, there. I think this one's better.
Okay, it's at least muted now. You can see that part. It didn't show that at all. There's a picture.
Can you unmute yourself, Derek? See, now he's muted. See, it's definitely
okay. So
there
now
I
switched over to the guest. I'm good, bro. I switched over to the app instead of Safari. Oh, hang on. I said I need to make myself presentable. Hang on. You ready for this? Was good.
Hey,
he got the meanie.
Hey,
yeah.
Hey,
I love it.
Hey,
love it.
I'm swaggy up in here.
Oh, he's got the
Hey.
there we go.
Hey.
Show the love. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I know you're about to hit me with a bunch of shit, so I had to soften the blow.
Yeah. But I mean, we obviously we just talked to Ashante Worthy.
Okay.
He's got. I mean, obviously for the representation of what the BIC is as a team. Obviously, Sterry and everybody else, but like Ashante, the demeanor of the cool, calm, collected is definitely running through him. There's not a whole lot of worry. There's not a whole lot of, what ifs. There's, we take it game at a time.
Yeah, man.
When we're there.
Why would they be stressed? They were one play away from winning the thing last season. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all talk about how dominant the Insomniacs win was because we love that on the West Coast. And back-to-back champs certainly means something. And going into the house and doing it certainly means something. And missing a couple key guys because we had to travel certainly means something. But BIC knows, if not for a couple mistakes, especially at the end of the game, that they really could have won that game. Now, the Insomniacs will tell you they had a game plan to come back every time, but that you can only come back from the dead so many times. And so, I mean, we're all super excited for a potential rematch. I think Insomniacs really want to see Silk, though. So I think the potential of the East versus West, West versus East thing in Vegas for the Final Four is something that everybody's real excited about. And I guess I'll be the first to kind of float it out there. It looks like there's a legit chance that could actually happen. So
that'll be in Bullhead or
probably in Vegas at Matter, or in Vegas at the Las Vegas Convention Center, depending on how big they want to make it.
at the convention center. Are they going to be able to go 100 yards at the convention center?
You could go 1,000 yards at the convention center.
Oh, dang.
All right, that'll work.
The second largest convention center in the United States.
Oh.
All right, that answers that question.
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking in I had said that was travel wise that's the biggest X factor, at least for the East. If they could be able to travel well and get down, it's going to be a really good game. But if they're not going to travel very well, it's going to end up kind of like a Nightcrawler situation where not as many guys showed up, and that throws a wrench into potential plans.
Yeah, how you travel is everything when it comes to these championship games, man. Look, the Force, our very first year in A7FL, we went out there and we handled business against Snow Tribe. Now, we fast forward a few years, we know the Snow Tribe really wasn't that strong of a franchise, right? But Force, first year team, goes into New Jersey, doubles their score and then some, right? Has a great showing, but then has to fly back home and to get on a plane and come back the very next weekend away from jobs, wives, family. That shit was not good for the Force, to the point where I was like, look, y'all put this playoff together expecting that a team from outside of New Jersey wasn't going to be able to win. So you put the games back to back. Y'all not paying us. We can't afford, not just financially, but afford spiritually to try to make this trip in back to back weekends. It's just not okay. So we established a new playoff rule where when it's interdivision playoffs, that has to be a week between travel. So that has been implemented since then. Now, that said, the Nightcrawlers potentially coming to Las Vegas, which is very unlikely to happen. I'll just say that right now based on the conversations that are happening right now. They were going to have to do it in back-to-back weeks. They would have to come out here in the first and play the number 2 team, which, if it were to happen today, would have been sick with it. Either stay or fly back home and come back the next week and play the remaining number 1 team, which, if it were to happen right now, would be the Insomniacs. Now, that's toll on the body, spiritual, work, family, all that stuff.
Unrealistic.
But these guys have planned for it, right? They didn't have the same. We didn't have the same benefit that they have, where they can go, hey, it's Vegas. We'll fly out on a Saturday, stay the whole week. I mean, it's Vegas. Like, let's go do the thing in Vegas for a whole week and then finish up the game on Sunday and then go back home with or without this Vegas chip. So, I mean, if you consider it a business trip with some play in the middle and hit both weekends, that's not bad, and especially when you've had 3 months to plan for the shit.
Yeah. I mean, that's been the question that I've asked every single East Coast player is especially, on the Animals, the BIC, when we're talking about players that are part of teams that have the potential to make the championship. That was one of the key questions that I asked. Will you guys be able to travel? Are you guys preparing for that now?
I'm going to make my continuous joke that I've been dropping in the Jersey chats every time I get a chance. Not the you. My boy Ryan Shamar is afraid to get on an airplane. That's the joke. I don't know if he actually is or not, but we were going at it in the Jersey chat because no one from Jersey's ever traveled out west, right? The furthest they've had to travel is Ohio. So, I mean,
That's
it's a
kind of
joke.
hop, skip, and a jump. You can drive that.
You can drive it. And, I mean, it's a joke, but they've also never gone down to Florida and played a game either. Like, only the Ohio teams have. So, like, what is that about?
Yes, I mean, And that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that has to do with division ownership, whatever, that may be.
But that all
That
changes this year.
and how so?
Well, Vegas put our stamp on the league, right? So we did the thing in Bullhead because they wanted to do it in Bullhead because the venue was amazing, right? So that happened. Florida ended up coming out, not a Jersey team. Vegas, being the number one seed and the national champion, had to go to Asbury Park and play as a visiting team, as the defending champ, in their backyard with a shitty experience. The amenities wasn't right. We didn't have all the water we should have had. We didn't have all the things that we were promised. And I said, I did this for you once. I won't be doing it again. You want us to come out there again? You got to beat us out here. That's just it. Now, that will change if we get some sponsor that pays for a national thing where it's taking care of us to get to some destination spot where we get this great location, taking care of a sponsor. I'm an asshole. I'm not that big of an asshole. Like I'm not an asshole where I'm gonna be an asshole and get rid of my money. I'm not like that. So if the money comes, yeah, we'll talk to the guys like, look, guys, I'm sorry. I know we put this down this way, but we have to take care of the league and go do this thing. And now we'll be able to travel well instead of, Spirit Airlines putting your foot inside your helmet type shit. We don't have helmets in this league, but we just experienced that with the Kings last weekend, so it's fresh on my mind.
I mean, and that's the thing that we knew, again, because of how Vegas has been able to travel to the East Coast. That's never really been a question that I asked because I know through what I've seen and through experience that regardless of whether it's on the East or here back in the West, the Vegas teams are going to travel well.
Well, I won't let them not travel well. Is what it boils down to, right?
One of the main reasons why.
it's straight up organizational skills. Having been through it now 4 separate times, we know the process. We know what we have to do. We know how Spirit and Frontier get down when it comes to the prices starting to inflate as you buy tickets, and how to jump back in and buy them at 2:00 in the morning the next time around, and running that cycle and making sure that you can get everybody good and golden by that time. But it's still flights on Fridays and Saturdays for Sunday games on 2 airlines that like to cancel flights a lot. So there's still a risk. We've been blessed that we only lost 1 guy on the way in and 3 guys on the way out so far total. So the Insomniacs didn't have their number two corner in the championship game against BIC last season because JJ Pugh's plane literally did not let him on it. He was sitting there with a ticket and they're like, sorry, sir, we can't. We're overbooked. We'll get you on the next one. The next one never
How
came.
do you overbook? That type of shit I never understood. I've never understood how you can overbook a flight.
Like, y'all a little young, but you remember the Seinfeld episode about the car reservations?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
They're like, all right. let me hit you with it. It's the best. Jerry Seinfeld gets to the car reservation counter and they're like, I'm sorry, sir. We don't have a car for you. He says, I have a reservation. And she goes, sir, you don't understand how this works. He says, no, it's a reservation. I don't think you know how this works.
I've never understood that. It's like you have your ticket, it's paid for, you have the reservation, everything there, and yet, we can't do it because of that type of shit has been.
Yeah, their thing is they oversell the plane by 1 or 2 tickets every time, expecting cancellations. So they fly with a full flight, and if they don't, they just refund the money of the people who got kicked off, or give them an extra ticket to fly somewhere. $250 credit, which doesn't cost them anything. It just takes up an empty seat for another spot. So financially, it's a business model that makes sense financially, but spiritually, that's some fucked up shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's been a lot of talk. Do you know exactly, one, where the conference championships are going to be, or at least the Final Four is going to be played? And is it going to be played, whether it's the same weekend or because again, we talk about, travel and realistically how things can be played out and worked out. Like how is the playoffs and championship? Where's that all going to be this year?
So two living, breathing scenarios right now. A third is like a 1% chance of happening, which is the 4 division thing, and we'll bring that into the fold. So Vegas is into their round robin knockouts right now, right? So we come back on April 27th. We're gonna have the 1 seed have their bye week 1, 2 seed have their bye week 2, 3 seed have their bye week 3. They're only playing the bottom seeds. The bottom seeds are playing the top seeds. Three does play 4, 5 does play 3. And if either one of those gets a win, they will replace the 3 as the 4 seed, and that will determine our 1 through 4 for January 8th.
Okay.
I'm sorry, January 1st, excuse me. And then
June.
June, excuse me. I do that all the time. I'm thinking NFL, bro. When playoffs, yeah. So June 1st, right? That's our Vegas semifinal. And then June 8th is our Vegas final. Now, so that's playoff scenario 1. Same thing happening in the East, but they have an 8-team bracket where 1's playing 8, 2's playing 7, 3 playing 6, 4 is playing 5, so on and so forth. After that, they reseed. The highest seed plays the lowest seed again. It's not just an elimination game straight down. That's how they're doing it in the East. And then same scenario, their Final Four or semifinal is the first, with their East championship on the 8th. The goal, if everything works out the way I heard this morning, and based on what I heard, I think there's about a 75% chance of it going down, maybe even 80, because the man who told it to me, I trust him on his word because he's always come through. So the man who told it to me says that he's got the commitment from his team and the other team that would likely be there, that they will, on their own dime, come to Vegas for the Final Four, which means the top 2 teams in Jersey would play the top 2 teams in Vegas at Matter Academy on June 8th. Right, so East 1 versus West 2, West 1 versus East 2. So right now, just based on seeding today, it would be BIC versus Sick With It and Insomniacs versus Silk. Right?
And that's so there is a good possibility.
A better than 50% possibility
that you could have 2 teams from the same conference in the championship game.
Yes. No, now that part, I'd say a lower possibility than having all 4 teams, because that would mean, let's say it's those 4 teams. That means Silk, who wasn't going to be BIC, would have to travel and beat the Insomniacs, or Sick would have to beat BIC. Right? So both of those things would have to happen and so the 2 seed got a long way to go in all of this, the way things are currently constructed. Now we'll talk about that a little bit, because you know how I feel about Sick With It. You and I have had a battle of words on Instagram over that shit. So
of course.
So Sick has Josiah Sal back, so they're probably the top 3 linemen in the A7FL is back. They picked up Bino as their tight end on the other side to replace Lugo. And Canyon Stone King is now been in the A7FL for 4 or 5 weeks now. Had a week off to talk about it, look at film. He's called me talking about pointers, pocket awareness, pre-snap reads. The dude is invested. He's not JG. Like, JG is an absolute quarterback whisperer. The dude calls his own offense, understands flag concepts and A7FL concepts as good as anybody we've ever seen at the quarterback position. There's a reason why Corey Hammond had him as his MVP. So to replace that with a rookie, even though you guys haven't seen it, has the strongest arm I've ever seen in someone at his age. Like, the kid throws an absolute rocket. Like, he has to take off the ball so he doesn't hurt his guys. That's the kind of arm he's got. He's just 6'6", and has concrete in his ankles, so he's not moving too fast. But if he has a chance to stand back there and dissect people, he's going to tear them apart, whoever it may be. So you got to overload the line, make sure he's rushed well, make sure he's got to get rid of the ball, and that's what everybody's been doing to him. So that said, Silk's chance to beat the Insomniacs is probably as good as Sick's chance to beat BIC, right? So chances are, it will be an East versus West, right? And
Okay.
we have committed to if the game comes to the West for the Final Four, that the game can go to the East for the championship again. That is the other condition where we will actually go,
Okay.
right? If they want, I'm not saying that's what they want right now. The fallback, the championship is currently set for Matter Academy in Las Vegas,
Okay.
provided none of these other really cool things come in, like the Final Four in Vegas, a sponsor that takes us somewhere else, or something along those lines might pop up. Like I'm literally talking to the U.S. military about playing the game on the USS Illinois in San Diego.
Dang.
Right? Remember that shit they did on the Madden in Madden in 2015?
Yeah.
We're talking about potentially doing a recreation of that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're always working in the background trying to come up with cool shit, right? Anything to elevate our game, elevate our profile. You know, we just had Snoop post about us again
Yep.
like 2 weeks ago, and it's gone viral again. So, but the other side of that is, so if it is an All East championship, the game will definitely be in Asbury. There's no reason for them to come all the way back to Vegas. Like we've already told Matter, it's about a 50% chance that it's going to be here. We'll put the deposit down. We expect our money back if we can't go. And they were like, yeah, Derek, we got it. It's cool. But they are talking about maybe getting beer out there, so that could be a game changer.
That could be a game changer.
Yeah, and then if we got the Las Vegas Convention Center, that's a big deal, right? And they've got a sponsorship that they kick in that is a big deal for us too. So that's an option opportunity. I found a spot in Orlando that's actually worthwhile that could potentially be used, but this is just conversation. So those are the main playoff scenario is what it is already set. East develops their champion, West develops their champion. The East champion comes to Vegas, gets their ass kicked. Insomniacs are or as three-peat or sick with it does the unthinkable, right? Or maybe Stealth comes out of nowhere. Or maybe the Gold puts it all together. I don't know.
You're talking like
You're talking
wild
crazy, bro.
hypotheticals.
No, so that scenario number one. So number two is this cross play thing in Vegas, and then obviously if it was two Vegas teams in the championship would still stay in Vegas, right? So there's no reason to travel two Vegas teams over to the East Coast to produce that game.
Okay.
So the other wild card in this is Florida, right? We made concessions for the Tampa Bay Nightcrawlers to, if they met three conditions, that they could enter into the Vegas playoffs as the 3 seed. Right? So once we hit the first, they would show up, play our 2 seed, and then whatever, come back, play our champion if the champion won, and then if they won, they would move on. In the spirit of the three things, they did not meet thing number one. There's some conversation that they may have potentially met it in a side backroom deal type thing, and right now we're not honoring that. So right now that's not happening, but the door is not closed all the way.
I mean, right now, especially for Florida, I mean, I don't know how much Florida's going to be able to. I mean, especially you haven't seen a division or anything, and we're hearing, just heard and got confirmation that Bagway is now, part of the BIC, along with one other former Nightcrawler.
Heard got confirmation if Vegas allows them in, they're coming here, so they're not on BIC, right? So they get to be on BIC if the answer is no, they're not coming to Vegas. If the answer is yes, they're coming to Vegas, they're no longer on BIC.
I don't know if that's true either. I think because again they're on the rosters here, and if I'm not mistaken, the finality of the rosters was what, this Thursday or this Sunday?
It was supposed to be.
So if the finality of the rosters is this Sunday, how would that even be possible for? I mean, Florida can still make it here, but they're not going to have two of their three guys.
So let me tell you how it's a possibility. A fucking loophole. Right?
There's always a loophole.
If you pull up, and we did this on the other side of the ball on Wednesday, if you pull up the rules of the A7FL, a7fl.com/rules, and you search the phrase Week 5, you will see that it says to be eligible to play in the A7FL championships, you must be registered to play by Week 5. It doesn't say you have to have played a down for any specific team. You doesn't say you have to be on that team's roster. It doesn't say you have to be a living human being when it happens. You just have to be registered by Week 5. Now, we all know the fucking intent was you had to be on a team and locked on their roster, but that's not the way the rule is written. So now everybody who hasn't played a snap for a team is not locked in to that team. Ergo, a fucking loophole. So even though Bagway and Henderson are on the BIC roster and have been since before Sunday night, and I know Kenny Stansbury worked his ass off to get that shit in at like 11:59 and 42 seconds, right? They still might be just fucking with him and playing with Florida if the whole Florida thing comes together. Now, like I said, the chances of Florida coming together is like at this point. The door, but the door's not slammed shut. It's just closed and ain't locked yet.
See, that would be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That would be
very
interesting.
Let's be honest. Why the fuck does BIC need the guys from Florida anyway?
Well, not to say that they do.
And if you think that Vegas is going to go laying down and not pick up somebody from Florida too, you haven't been watching how we operate out here.
Absolutely insane. That would be absolute fucking insanity.
I missed what you said. I was talking. What happened?
I was saying, like, that would be absolutely. I mean, you just said it right now. You got Henderson and Bagway on the BIC, and all of a sudden, Logo Davis shows up in an Insomniacs uniform. That would be wild shit. I'm not gonna lie. That would be a wild turn of events that would absolutely light up the anticipation and hype of the championship game.
Yeah. And nobody's got Keese on their roster. Nobody's got Zaza Travis Gallardo on their roster. Right? Stud motherfucking players in the Florida division, some of the best guys in the A7FL would then be eligible to play for any team in the A7FL, not just the Insomniacs or BIC. Like, why Silk isn't making these phone calls, why Sick isn't making these phone calls, why the Stealth, Watchmen, Renegades, like all these guys have a legit shot at this 25K. And if your GM ain't dialing for dollars right now, you got a problem.
Yeah, that's wild. That information is now my mind is going to all the different possibilities that could happen with that.
A fucking loophole.
Yeah. Wording is always a big thing when it comes to certain rules. So everybody can understand this is what it meant to say. But as long as that's not what it does say, you can always find a way around it.
I've already presented the updated rule where it removes that as a clarification. So hopefully the rule set that I proposed, that the division owners proposed before last season, that didn't get published because we were going to go and publish a whole brand new rule book, and that didn't get done. And now we're scaling back to just cleaning up our rule book and clarifying a bunch of things that are currently issues. I put together a clarification set of all of those rules where all the gray areas that get talked about on a regular basis get clarified with examples, highlighted, hey, updated here, here's the intent of this rule, blah, blah, blah. So I've asked that the first meeting after the championship game that we adopt those. So we'll see how that goes.
But for sure, I mean, with the playoff structure and everything as it is now, we're still looking at a pretty good chance that the championship is going to be in Vegas.
Yeah, it's a 75% chance in Vegas right now, right? So the way the shit is set, it's Vegas. The field that's booked is Vegas. The two scenarios that would take it out of Vegas is if it's an all East championship, which that would require the all East thing, the East versus West thing to happen, which I feel like that really could. But then you guarantee it if it's an all East championship, right? Or a big sponsor comes in, right? Big sponsor comes in, says, no, I want to put this at the Meadowlands. Oh, I want to put this at Raymond James Stadium. Oh, I want to put this at Hard Rock Stadium. Like any of those things could potentially happen. Like I've been pining for an HBCU donor to get involved and put us in a game at one of their stadiums in the South, because we are, you know, the league itself is more than 60% African American. The fan base is more than 60% Caucasian, but the players themselves more than 60% African American. It's a nice tie-in with the HBCUs.
Oh, that would be something. I mean, regardless, I've got that weekend off, so wherever it is, we're gonna try. We're gonna try and get there. But I mean,
Yeah,
another
and
question.
Matt Sticks is already in my inbox pimping to be the DJ, so that's locked and loaded, right? That's why you
Oh
asked
yeah,
the question, isn't
definitely.
it?
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah, I'm just waiting for the date.
And my boy's an opportunist. Like, hey,
Yeah.
what are we doing on the 22nd, buddy?
Yeah.
Well, it's like, so. I mean, another question I've been asking, especially for the players, there's been kind of a multitude of answers. There's early, there's late, there's kind of in between. But from your perspective and how you see it, I know you've talked about it a little bit with me off air, and certain necessities that would be needed for it. But how far off do you think the league is at this point to be able to have that interconference play during the regular season?
We are. I would say that I would think we'd have a Elite Eight or Final Four interplay next season at a minimum, right? Not in season crossplay, which is what we all want, but at Elite Eight, I will say Final Four in a minimum. Elite Eight, probably 75% chance of that happening with central location. Everybody comes into one hub city and does the damn thing, right? We, with our partnership with Fox Soul, should the money surrounding that come in to the tune of where the money came in from Stadium the first year we were on Stadium, that opens the door for that opportunity. It also opens the door for interseason in the league play, right? I made the mistake of getting involved that season when we looked like we were on our way and had a significant amount of money coming in.
And you make
Stadium went bankrupt.
it's true.
Right. So now they're back. They are one of our bigger contributors already again, but not to the tune that they were contributing before.
Right.
But
I mean, still the DAZN, Tubi, all these
yeah,
other.
so the Tubi deal could be the best deal we have. I mean, above all, like when I got in with Tubi initially, the programmer, there's a word for it, told me that there's this young lady who did a 90-minute feature film that was very well received by the Tubi audience. And over the course of 3 months, she made $340,000.
Oh,
We have 8 feature films of that length times 2 that we film every Sunday throughout our season. So if it was as well received as her film,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but that's just not happening, man. Like my I've not done enough good in my life to have some shit like that happen to me. I keep
You
trying.
never know. You got to
Yeah,
keep
I'm
up
saying, I think
alive.
it'd be
You
a
never
lot,
know.
so-
I'm always.
But-
You always got to stay the positive.
Oh yeah, look,
Yeah.
like, I know who I am.
But
Though,
like,
yeah.
what do you think is missing for that, for like the right audience or like the right amount of like what's
Like-
missing in this whole thing?
I hate to say it, we're spending too much time trying to be NFL, and we should be UFC and rap battles. Like our audience is not NFL corporate sponsors. We're not Coca-Cola and Pepsi and
Mhm.
Doritos and Nabisco. We are Hennessy and Fubu and Rise dispensaries and other organizations that have a significant amount of money that would love to be rocking with us, but we are looking for Coca-Cola and Nabisco and Procter Gamble to be the guys that come and say, "Hey, here's the millions of dollars you've been looking for," instead of getting 500,000 here, 250,000 there, 500,000 there, 250,000 there, a million there, and then, I mean, we're the Rucker Parker football, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, but Rucker Park is legendary, so
Right? We are NFL Street. We are NFL Blitz. Right? We are that personified. That shit is so popular,
yeah.
but we haven't leaned into it. We have not leaned into it.
Hey, I was just gonna say, like, you know how you said something about I guess how like with the loophole, how like, you can add players, like as long as they register, they could come play. I was gonna say, like, in like the championship game, if y'all did like what is Royal Rumble kind of thing, like a player just comes out of nowhere, now he on the team, bro. Yeah, hey,
See
that's
the
the
timer
lane
in the
that you gonna,
background all of a
yeah.
sudden.
Right.
Oh shit.
It's
That's
not a bad
y'all,
idea. I mean, we did have Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie play for the Nightcrawlers
Mhm.
last year as quarterback out of the blue, so we kind of had that flavor. But honestly,
But I mean, there's a lot of obvious attention,
yeah,
that comes into this league, and that's why it's been so confusing to me going
it's baffling.
as popular as it is, as viral moments like, I know Snoop posted it a couple weeks ago, but he posted something that happened last year, not this year.
He posted one of our old ass clips. Like it was actually Stray Baby did a overlay talking over the clips of some of our games. Like he took clips from the 2015 year, the 2016 year, all the way up to the championship this year, and calling us 37U again, right? That shit's funny, but the shit gets attention, right?
Yeah.
So like
That's why I wonder, with all of that attention.
Look, what we really need, honestly, if you want my straight up opinion, we need somebody, a celebrity with some stroke, like a Snoop Dogg, like a Destroying, like a AJ Green, like a Mr. Beast, somebody who's in the public eye but not beholden to corporate media to say, "This is my shit," right? And and kind of take the thing, start streaming it, talking about it. They get benefits from it. They do the thing. Like, and if you're listening right now and you are that person and you want that action, that is available to you like now, right? I'm looking for that YouTuber or celebrity sensation. I mean, any NFL superstar that just retired could take us and make this into $1 billion league, just like that, man. I mean, and let OBJ is probably on his last contract, right? The dude's got all the flavor in the world and belongs involved with something like this. Destroying's back on the Brahmas. He's doing his thing. But he specifically could take this league and turn it into a multi-million dollar thing just with his following, because he has to pay $10,000 to $20,000 to go produce his content. We're doing that shit for you for free because we're doing it for ourselves for free. You just take it, put your flavor on it. Now we're getting 1 million views off of every video. That's $100,000 in the pocket or $10,000 in the pocket, and we're doing 8 of those a week. We good. We good.
Yeah, I mean, it only takes that one time.
So if you're listening, call up your homies. Wait, how far are you from? You're in the Bay Area, right?
In Sacramento, but
Yeah, go get E40 and told him we stole Sick With It Records, and he needs to get involved.
Mad Six, you're on it. Let's go.
I mean, I know his hype man. I'm good friends with his hype man, Big
Well,
Amici, so who
let's
always
do
on
that.
stage with him. So
Who's my guy? DJ Franzen, right? He left the Bay Area and came out to Vegas. That dude could probably get us on. I mean, you just need like a B+ dude that's got a following that people respect and love, right? And once they get eyes on us, it's over.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's piece number one. Piece number two is having enough income to pay our guys. Right? So not for any other reason. I mean, of course, I want to see them make money off of what they're doing. They're putting their bodies on the line. But if we're paying them, we then get to have rules that they then have to follow that polishes us up to the point where we're not concerned about black eyes because, getting a guy to have to miss work every weekend to come play in a championship game or to play in a high level game is just not always going to happen, right? The family comes first, bro. It has to.
Yeah.
But if they're making money off us, like the $500 to $1,000 you're getting paid for playing on Sunday is more than $150 you're making at that security job.
That's true. That's very true. I mean, and again, I watching. I mean, we've been watching and covering it, for almost 5 years now, and that was always the one thing that I know we've talked about it here plenty of times, just wondering what else needs to be done because it's obviously garnering attention. You got viral clips, 2 to 3 viral clips every single year, whether it's from past games or games of today. You've got all of this attention. You got kid reporters going out there asking former NFL players, oh, have you heard of this? Oh yeah, I've seen this league, I've heard of this league. You got Mike Tomlin out there talking about, oh, these guys are tough getting out. You got all of these different
J-Mo from the Lions actually having their team replicate the BIC celebration over the Force, right? And talked about that on ESPN. Like, that's how popular we got. NFL players copying us, bro. That's how popular we are. Pat McAfee show, 4-minute spot on us.
And that's why I look at it going, how is it not where it needs to be, especially with all of that going on?
We just need to get 10% to 50 cents so he can do this shit like he did with Flip. What was the vitamin water? That's I mean, honestly, that's what we need. We need that level of celebrity to take a piece of this thing, put their stamp on it, put their stamp of approval on it, make it part of their brand. We're good. Damon Johns. Damon Johns would be the perfect person. Destroying would be the perfect person.
Off and running because again, it's just that it's this close. It's this close. We could all see it coming, especially a lot of the veterans. You ask me, have you ever seen? Did you ever think the league was going to get to this point? Hell no, they didn't think the league was going to get to this point.
I got a question for you. You said you've been doing this for 5 years. Obviously, I've only known you for the last 3.5.
Right.
What was the biggest difference for you between year one when you started covering the league and now? Besides Las Vegas dominance, that's too easy.
I mean, the growth of the league has definitely been one of the differences. Production wise, there's been upgrades and improvements. I mean, the entertainment level of the games, like especially like the games of the year and the championship. I mean, every championship game from these last 3.5 to 4 years has gotten better and better and better and better.
Bananas. The championship games have been bananas, man.
So it's just been lights out when it comes to that aspect. But outside of those aspects, it's been relatively the same.
Okay.
So I mean, I've talked to Matt Ryan. He's had his opinions on what things need to come. Obviously, sponsorships. Money makes things a whole hell of a lot easier to be able to do. But then there's certain avenues of being able to do certain things, and they can't do certain things because of a decision or whoever said what. It's gotten kind of almost like it feels like a little too content in the position that they're in.
Definitely not that. I mean, maybe that's what it looks like from the outside, and that's discouraging if that's the case, because the dudes behind the scenes who are running this thing, the guys who are at the top of each the ownership divisions, like they're doing some shit. Not some shit that you guys would care about, though. To be honest, I mean,
everything in this
maybe you
league
do. Maybe you do
that's
care
getting
about
to
it.
a
So
high point where we kind of care about.
So one of the things we didn't talk about, the thing that might be getting over the hump is our production and technology. Right, we're a little different than anybody else that does this anywhere else. We do all of our own production and own all of our shit. Right, we're not paying any production companies to come out here and do this for us. The ones we do, we're partnered with. Right, so I paid Flash Media Sports. That's Mel to come out and shoot our games, and now we're partnered on our games, right? So we keep ownership of our material and have ownership of everything that's in the can. And to be frank, there's no one who can produce games at our quality at our price like we do. Like, we've got this shit figured out.
Yeah.
On top of that, we're doing a lot of conversation. We are involved in crypto. And sports and crypto, making that final connection is such a big thing. And if we're first to market with it properly, it's the sky's the limit. Like, there's nothing that can stop us if we are the people who actually figure that out properly.
I mean, again, as long as I'm starting, I see, because again, we've been passionate about this league. We've been wanting to see this league grow, get better, get to higher places, and the more good things that happen,
Matt 60's frozen. Take over. Well, I'm frozen.
No, you're good.
I'm here. Oh, reading something.
You said take it to higher levels, and then it stopped. My bad.
It's like when we see this league, like, there's a lot of good things that we see in it. Obviously, there's a lot of things that we want to see, that we talk about, that we obviously get more information from you, from Matt, from from the players, from everywhere else that we can possibly get info. It's just with everything that we've gotten and everything that we've been talking about, again, there seems to be, it's kind of that universal thing of there's just that small thing missing for it to finally, just take off to where it can be. And some people have different opinions of what that small thing could be.
You know what we really need to do is buy 3 hours on ESPN for our championship game. Just buy up that commercial 3-hour slot for our championship, produce the absolute snot out of that game, make it the best thing we've ever put on camera, put it in front of the entire ESPN viewing crew, and force the world to see us.
How much is that going to cost?
$20.
Add about 6 more zeros at the end of that, and man.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's not shit on TV late June on a fucking Sunday, so
that's true. Nothing as entertaining as this, at least.
I mean, you got baseball, right? So that's cool, but nothing that's violent like football or UFC on a Sunday evening or afternoon that could grab the attention of America the way we do.
Yeah.
So that's an idea.
That could, I mean, if that happened, like, I could almost guarantee, like, if there was a 3-hour spot brought up on ESPN that one time, that would change everything. That would change the course of everything in an instant.
I agree. And I mean, obviously we want to pay enough to have them do promos leading up to it and have some coverage from ESPN pundits as well. By the way, speaking of pundits, I want to thank you guys for contributing in our AP poll, AP type poll, and voting. I think it's things like that and spreading the word to other people who cover it with Shady Sports and what's his name up in Stephen Ure up in the Northeast, like
RTU.
spreading. RTU was always going to be involved, but spreading the love out to and getting out to other people who weren't necessarily covering us before and having them vote, that's a big deal. I mean, it's legitimizing some of the things that we're doing. Now, if the top 7 actually meant something, it would be even better.
Everybody's always going to have a problem with the top 7.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, regardless of who's up, and there's always going to be a conversation about it, and that's the beauty of it. It always sparks conversation. So it's little things, little by little, it's going to get there. I mean, it's a pain in the ass, and that's why they call it growing pains. But it's again, we still see things from this league that if it just gets polished up just a little bit in certain areas, again, we just talked to Ashante, where one of the things that he said that needs to definitely stop is the fighting and the soft ego shit on the side.
So what's crazy is, I promise you, we've had as many dust ups in Vegas as they have in every other division, but that shit gets cleared in 3 to 5 minutes.
I mean, this last one I feel like this last scuffle, if you could even call it that, between the BIC and the Animals,
The pushing match.
I feel that was blown out of proportion at the highest degree.
For sure.
It was barely even pushing and shoving.
Right.
It got handled within 10 seconds. You had David Tender and Big Mo on a live immediately after that saying, "We're good. We don't know what the fuck is going on. We're good." Like, I mean, obviously, when you look at it, but you have to remember there's 2 things that's involved with this quote unquote scuffle. One, you had a player going a little bit extra on the opposing team's quarterback.
Yep.
I don't give a shit what level of football you are at. If your quarterback is getting mishandled in a way that's not right, everybody's going to be involved in it.
They need to be.
And it happened on the Animal sideline. And so BIC sees one of our guys versus an entire team. We got to get down there. We got to be able to, help break that up and do whatever it needs to do. But again, it wasn't even close to being, fists were being, like, people were brawl.
No,
nowhere near close to that.
It wasn't none of that. And honestly, to be frank, we need to go help our guy. No, you don't. Like, everybody just needs to chill. Whoever is upset about it needs to go, "Yo, ref, this just happened. We are being professional here. This just happened. This guy needs to be ejected." And that's the conversation that needs to happen. Not let's get in a fight over it, because you're already in a fucking 3-hour fight. You just peak for 20 seconds and throw a fist when someone can take you and body slam you in the middle of a game. Like, give me the opportunity to get my get back on the field, dog. I mean, I'm so the other thing that could take us to the next level. Hear me out, Josh. So I'm presenting a rule change this year.
Oh shit!
That we introduce a penalty box and let dudes fight.
Oh shit!
And if you are the person who starts the fight, you get a 2-minute roughing call or more, and your team has to play a man down for 2 minutes of game time or until the other team scores, just like hockey.
Derek, I love you to death, but you understand how asinine that sounds?
Hey, something different.
That's exactly how hockey's done. You're saying hockey's asinine?
Different. I understand that, but
what's so different?
It is not. You should know this, especially in a team game like this. When you got
hockey's not a team game.
Hockey's been doing it forever. That's the difference. When you're having
hockey's been allowing it forever. We've all been doing it.
How often are you going to see a one-on-one?
Probably not for the first couple games.
We're gonna have chaos versus watching.
Hey, look, let me just tell you, if everybody knows, if you want to start some shit, you're gonna actually have to throw hands, and your boys aren't gonna pull you off. You're literally gonna need to square up with somebody. How many people do you think are actually gonna want to fucking fight? Everybody, hold me back, dog. hold me back, dog. I'm gonna get them. Hold me back, dog. That shit goes away.
See, the more you talk about it, the more I'm starting to think, God damn, this rule might actually bring some.
So look, so I have this other plan to do A7 Arena, and if we do it, that absolutely will be a fucking rule.
The penalty.
A7 Arena. I mean, isn't that what y'all are already
So
doing?
you either get a choice of a first down and the guy goes to the penalty box, or you get your 15 yards in first down and they don't go to the penalty box.
So you can pick and choose.
Yep. And look, if multiple people are involved in a fight, multiple people are in the penalty box, and only one gets to come out after each score. So you really want to put your team in that position.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all should add music during the game. For me, I'd be fired. You feel me? Yeah.
It's like,
You can have some dudes playing 7-on-1 out there.
oh my god! And oh my! I don't even. I'm gonna need to think about that a whole hell of a lot more because I can't even wrap my head around how that would even be possible. Without the whole benches clearing aspect. It just.
I'm here for it, dude. It sounds amazing, right? Now that you're thinking about it.
It's definitely unique,
like it.
and that would definitely bring eyes to the game for sure.
What did EJ say about a Royal Rumble? Like, you have goons on the team, guys that just go in there to start scraps. Like,
your job is to go fight that offensive line right now.
Yep.
Get as many players kicked off that team.
Yeah, Kenny Mack is whooping our ass right now. Go give him an elbow so he wants to fight you.
Oh God. Oh man, that would be something. That would be something. I mean,
so the downside is, right, the difference in hockey is they're on skates, so the punches aren't as strong and the impact isn't as strong. They have on gloves. Sometimes they usually drop the gloves, but they are indeed wearing some sort of face mask, facial gear that allows it to potentially deflect some of the blow. I originally, when I was putting it together, I was like, look, you have the fight. You have the dust up. Everybody gets cleared. And now that you know that you have the dust up, between quarters, you have to fight this dude in gloves. 1 minute round. Let's get it fucking on. And if there's multiple people, these new country fights are doing 5-on-5. Like,
David Isaacs, if you're watching this, you're smiling ear to fucking ear right now.
Like, that was the original concept. So maybe this fall season we're going to do a draft league indoors and have the whole either quarter boxing element or penalty box element. Maybe.
Just to kind of test it out and see how it goes, see how many people really are really about what they say, huh?
Dude,
I'm really about to get in the league then. I got a sole roll.
Oh man,
I might get back in. I'm nice with these.
Just for that, what? Is that the Las Vegas division owner getting out there? Holy shit!
Man, he said something about my mama.
She fighting the head coach on the other team? What the fuck is going on? Wait a minute. Both of the owners from each division. This is insane.
Ooh, that would be dope.
It's going to evolve to the point where you're going to have the commentary teams coming after each other.
Yeah.
That was first down, bro. Not second down, dog. Come on now, bro. Get it together.
We already had them racing each other in Bullhead. That's
yeah, that was fun. That was fun. Somebody suggested that I race Steve Ashmore and Medic Nick.
I've seen how fast you are.
I said, look, my running days are done unless there's money on the line, and I will do it for $100 a man. And then when you lose to me, you donate $100 to the Susan G. Komen Foundation for my Big Wig campaign.
See the plug. He's a professional at this. He's a professional. I
said that shit. There was nothing but crickets, bro. They got real fucking quiet.
For the people who don't know, but I mean, for the people who do know. Derek, again, man, as always, doors always open. whether it's talking balls. We started off, a little bit of like the end of last year, a little bit of this year with some segments and stuff like that. But as
Yeah, it
the
was
season, we definitely need to continue on to do more stuff like that. Always a valuable member of the Jaffo Army, as you see, all decked out and everything there. Great supporter. We appreciate you, sir, and good luck, Vegas Division, everything rest of the season. And we will see you at the championship game for sure.
And thanks for having me on, fellas. You guys have one of the most amazing shows for podcasters that I've ever seen. Your content is always fire. You always got new shit to talk about. I love being on here with you guys. Thanks for having me. One love, y'all. Y'all be well.
Oh, yeah.
Derek Duncan, ladies and gentlemen. See, telling y'all are late. We've been doing this shit. They've been talking about us the whole time. They're just not giving us the credit for it. Before we get out here, we got about 10 minutes left here in the show. We got other things that we could talk about. I mean,
We talk about
NBA...
Dallas getting their ass whooped right now.
Say what?
Dallas getting their ass whooped right now.
I mean, when I saw that the Mavericks beat the Kings, I was like, man, the Kings are down bad in the worst way. The Mavericks are depleted like a motherfucker, and they still lost.
Well, they're losing now. They're losing to Memphis right now, 114-95.
Well, I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like, the fact that the Kings lost to the Mavericks, and now the Mavericks have this chance to even...
Fuck that bean. Looks like I got on my post. Nobody give a fuck about the Sacramento Kings.
Oh, shit. But, I mean, the Mavericks, they're getting whooped on hard. So now the seeding, I mean, if it stands the way it stands, Grizzlies move in, Thunder with the number 1 seed, and this is the Western Conference. You got Thunder with the number 1 seed, Rockets number 2, Lakers at 3, Nuggets at 4, Clippers at 5, T-Wolves at 6, the Warriors at 7, and the Grizzlies at 8. Eastern Conference, you got the Cavs with the number 1 seed. Fucking A.
Mm-hmm.
Celtics with the number 2, Knicks with the number 3. Holy fuck, the New York Knicks.
They came out of nowhere, right?
from 0 to hero, all just like that. All they had to go do was get Cat, and that was it. Then you got the Pacers at number 4, the Bucks at number 5, Pistons, the fucking Detroit Pistons.
Out of another
Remember
team out
where
of
the
nowhere.
fuck they were where they were at a few years ago? Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yep.
And then you got
where they was at last year.
The Magic at number 7.
Yep.
And then the Heat at number 8.
Yep. Yeah, Miami won. They won tonight, so yeah, they got the 8th seed. So,
I mean,
the playoffs is amongst. There's gonna be some good play. There's gonna be some good games going on. So it's gonna be some good series. And
who we think is in the finals?
I'm going Lakers in 5 for the championship.
Bro, Warriors, bro. Come on now.
The Warriors ain't winning the championship.
I'm just talking about like again. You sound like Shannon Sharp.
Lakers in 5.
Lakers
ain't no 5, bro. They don't got enough to do it, bro.
Man, everything I predict is right. Like Nostradamus.
They don't got enough to do it. They don't got enough, bro. For real.
I predict Jesus gonna rise on Sunday.
But he already rose, bro. What you talking about?
You're fucking something else, bro.
You wanna know what I predict? You wanna know what I predict? Hey, I predict that none of y'all lighters work on Sunday either.
Shit, I bet you they do.
I know that's a goddamn lie.
None of y'all lighters gonna work on Sunday.
Okay.
This is diabolical. This is bro. Like, whose idea was this, bro?
Just the way the calendar fell this year.
Bro, this is diabolical. 420 on a Sunday, crazy word.
I'm like, boy, everybody coming. Mine don't show up till Monday. I'm so mad.
Hey, see, that's what happened. Man. That's what happened. God told you, bro.
It's all right, but it's 420 every day, so I wear it every day. I ain't tripping.
I mean, go Jaffos TV. Go get your 420 shirts.
Yes,
You may
sir.
not get it in time for 420, but
Hey,
at
That's
least you'll
good.
have it for next
Amen.
time. JaffosTV.com. Go to the merch store. Everything in there is. I've got to get some new gear in there too. Just thinking of
and just
whipping
because
up
I
some
ain't getting it
ideas.
on time, now UPS got to get the bitch assness award for not giving me my shirt on time.
Yeah. You know what's weird? They don't have the. I might need to figure out something for Printful or whatever as well, because they don't have that option like the next day.
Yeah, next day delivery or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, it's usually the straight 5 to 7 business days or whatever it is. So I got to figure out, at least on that point, how to be able to
get that
get things
expedited
out.
shipping. Yeah, somebody wanted quick.
Yeah, get it out sooner to people so they can be able to have it when they want to have it. And so, but yeah, no, we'll get that one figured out. Once again, go to JaffosTV.com, get your merch. Be able to support. You saw Derek Duncan on here, all decked out and all of his stuff. He had the sweater, he had the beanie on. Whole range of support all throughout the Jaffo family, the Jaffo army. Appreciate them for everything that they've done. Matchstick's in there, always getting his shirts representing his Biz Assness Hall of Shame. He's got his DJ Matchstick shirts.
It's Assness Hall of Shame. Don't be on this list. Don't be on this list.
Nope. You don't want to be on that list. That's for goddamn sure.
Yeah, make sure y'all tune in to Indie Vibes, man.
I gotta
make sure y'all tune in to Indie Vibes on Monday nights. We got a new episode coming out this week. New episode just dropped a couple days ago. Indie Vibes, we on YouTube, and we're getting ready to take it to the radio. We're going to the radio here in the next couple weeks. So we're doing some things. So just make sure y'all tune in, get your gear, like, share, subscribe. It's free. It's free to like, share, and subscribe. It's free. Tell a friend. Tell a friend.
A minute at that out of your day.
Tell a friend. You ain't even got to watch the whole show. Just tune in for a minute.
Like, share, again, be a friend, tell a friend. Let everybody know. Like Derek Duncan said, we're one of the best content, out there. They're stealing our shit, people. I keep saying this all the goddamn time. They're taking our shit and running with it. They're not giving us the goddamn credit we deserve for this shit. And so once y'all start buying the merch, y'all start walking around, being our walking billboards out there, growing the Jaffo Army, which Jaffo Army shirts are also in the store. We'll check that out. Once everybody's be able to say, hey, what's that? What's that? I wear my job, like my sweater and everything that I have. I wear that shit to work, and I get asked every single day, what is that? What is that? Jaffos TV, find out. JaffosTV.com and find out. Everybody go, oh, you got this, you got that. Yep, got this, you got that. You got the most diverse world of entertainment on the entire internet right now. JaffosTV.com. EJ, we got to get more merch stuff for you on there too. I got to get some more. I think I only got one Prodigy shirt for you on there.
Hey, that's cool. You can,
Yeah, I mean, that's
I don't
cool.
think we got much.
Add at least 2 to 3 more.
I don't think I got much background. I could probably pick some up.
Nah, yeah, we'll figure it out. It's the other. We got the black and gold logo one up there. I need to get that white and blue one up there.
And once I get the Prodigy picks going, we could get that one going too.
Yep, got that one up there too. It's all ready to go. I just got to load it in there and it be ready to go. We also got A7FL inspired gear. We got the Robbing Them Legally, the Mel Carey inspired gear. We got the family merch, the collaboration between ourselves and the Mizzle and Dub show. So those shirts are also up there as well. The Bosch Initiative and all the D&D nerds and everything out there. I know you're out there. I know you're watching. Some of you undercover motherfuckers are watching this shit too. I know some of y'all are nerds and just don't want to say it. I remember I was back in those days. I get it. I understand. But go in and watch that D&D. We got some new things are going to be coming up starting next week. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be interesting. There's some things lined up that are going to shake some things up for Botch Initiative and the Sable Knights. So we're already done with session 12 as of Wednesday. So session 13 coming up next week. So be there for that. Once again, appreciate Ashante Worthy, appreciate Derek Duncan, giving us their presence and stuff like that, be able to come and talk some ball, talk some scenarios. And once again, I'm sorry, I just got to say it. This is the best sports talk show in the entire internet. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. They got all the money in the world and stuff like that. That's fine. But again, at the end of the day, they steal our shit anyway. So we know what's going on. We talk about stuff before it even happens, but what do we know, right? That's another shirt. That's in jaffostv.com. So once again, appreciate you guys for Friday for hanging out with us on this Friday. Everyone have a great weekend. Have a blessed weekend. Happy Easter to everybody. Happy WrestleMania season for everybody who's going to be watching. Tomorrow.
Happy 420.
Happy 420. There's so many things happening this weekend. So enjoy.
I'm just trolling EJ right now.
How many times can we say I even said this 420, this is a whole different way, whole different meaning to the words get one with Jesus.
It's you got the trifecta. You got three. It's you got WrestleMania, Easter, and yeah.
We
and
all
420 on one day.
Sunday.
Like, man, the planets is aligned. The planets is aligned.
EJ's like, you fucking heathens. Everybody have a very
I'm gonna say
weekend,
another prayer
whatever
for
it is
y'all.
that you partake in, whatever it is that you do. Everybody just be together, love each other. We'll see you guys again come Tuesday. For myself, JP, for the Prodigy, EJ Wizzle, for the greatest DJ on the planet, Mr. DJ Mad 6. We will see you guys again next time. Deuces.
Peace.